Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. I'm going to show you some of the things that I do to enhance my table runners and some of my other table linens. They're little easy things that you can do to make it look special. There might be times when you have some fabric for a table runner, but you don't have quite enough to make it the length that you want. And you really want to use that piece of fabric. I'm going to show you how you can easily find something else. So first of all, you're going to take it to the fabric store and you're going to select some fabric that will go with it. So look at the fabric that you have. Look at all of the different colors. Now in this piece of fabric, there's navy check, there's daisy flowers with a yellow center, and then right in the center of that is some orange. So when you go to the fabric store, you look for either a solid color or a softer print, it's not quite as busy, that has at least one or more of these colors. So here is, I got really lucky. Here's some other daisy fabric, but the background is not completely solid, but it has white in it. Luckily, it has the daisy flowers, and it has a little dot, a tiny dot of orange in the middle. So you could bring front sides together and stitch a 1/4 inch seam, and of course press the seam, and you can do this at both ends. You can make these add-on pieces any length that you want. Or now you could do this. So I'm going to pull this apart. I took a piece of yellow fabric, and this is what you'll have. So you're using all of the colors together to make it longer, and it makes it look like you purposely did all of this and that you weren't in trouble on this piece. So what you would do is you then stitch this piece to this strip, 1/4 inch wide seam, and do the same thing over here, and then press your seams. Always press your seams towards the darkest fabric because you don't want that little fabric seam showing through this yellow. And then when you're done, it's all stitched, it looks like this. Now let me show you a couple of other things you can do to this runner. I love buttons. And so you could, on this little strip in the center of these two pieces of fabric, you could add novelty buttons like this. Now these are flowers, they're not exactly daisies, but they're close to looking like this. So this would really make it look special, and it's orange, and there's a little dot of orange in those daisies. You could, if you wanted to, use the darker blue. This doesn't make an exact match, but just for demonstrations, pretend it is. And this gives it a different look. These are just your basic round buttons. Now this other technique that I use, I often use this a lot because it's the easiest, is I will stitch the two pieces of fabric. This is just some scrap fabric, it's not a real table runner. So you can stitch them together, 1/4 inch wide seam, press the seam, and then I'll take polyester ribbon because it is washable, and I'm going to lay it right over the top of it and then stitch on each side of the ribbon. Let me show you one more. Now if you're using that previous demonstration, before I stitched this side of the ribbon closed, I inserted beaded trim. There's a little ribbon band that holds the beads together. I placed that underneath this edge and then stitched it down. Now whenever you're working with beads like this, you want to make sure you use your zipper foot and move the needle closest to the direction or the side where your beads are at, because your regular presser foot won't get close enough. It'll just all bunch up. It'll be an absolute mess. So make sure you move that needle over and use your zipper foot. Now those demonstrations that I showed you look really great whether they're laying flat or if they're going over the side. So if you've got a chest of drawers, it looks great. For instance, the one with the black and the beads on it was for a chest of drawers. It went down the sides. Also, the other ones would look great hanging down over each end of your table. It gives a really dramatic look. You can also add fringe. Now fringe I will usually put into the seam as I'm making a table runner or a placemat. But if you've already got a table runner or even placemats that you just wish they looked better, you could add something like this to it. You could either stitch it on top or stitch it on the underneath side. It's really up to you. And again, you want to make sure you use your zipper foot because you're going to be getting kind of close to the little top part of the tassels that it might get caught up in your presser foot. When you're going around the corners, you need to fold it correctly so that it will not cause your corners to curl up. So you kind of have to do a little mitered corner fold. You kind of fold it a little bit, because if you don't do that and you try to go around a corner, this is what happens and the edge curls up. You can even add ruffles to any of your table linens, but when you're doing the ruffle, you really need to include it in your seam. So when you're putting it together, you want to take whatever is your top fabric. So this was my top fabric. Before you stitch your runner together, you want to create your ruffle, place the ruffle on top on this pretty side with the raw edge facing towards this seam, and then stitch it down. And you would have your other fabric on top of it. Your fabric that's on the back would be placed then on top. Then you'd stitch. When you turn it front side out, that ruffle will automatically come where it's going out and away from your table runner. Now this is a tablecloth that was already made. I purchased it at Walmart and I wanted to make it special, so I added lace trim like this. And when I did the lace trim, I mitered it at the corners. So you would cut the ends off at a 45-degree angle and then stitch them together. And this will also make your table runner or placemats look very special. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that I've inspired you to venture out and try something just a little different. Now, I'm going to have links below your YouTube screen on projects in which I used some of these ideas. You just scroll down below your YouTube screen to the description section. When you see the word more, click on it and it will expand open and you will see the links appearing. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you go and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.